So, hello everybody and welcome again to my channel. Today I have with me Xavi.
Hello, Joan.
So, why did I invite Xavi to my channel? I will do a little interview because lately we have received some information about two groups. One group is called Lentiourel and the other group is called La Lumière du Chevaux. They are two groups placed in France, and I have invited Xavi because he has been in both places. There has been a little story that we don't find exactly very fair and a little bit disgusting, and I just want to invite Xavi because I know he has been there and I know his testimony is very useful. Welcome, Xavi.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
So, my first question is just to go directly to your testimony, to what you saw, what happened, how did you arrive to Lentiourel, how did you arrive to the La Lumière des Chevaux, and we can explain from there the present situation.
Okay. So I went to France, I went to meet La Lumière des Chevaux. It is a project that they take care of horses and animals, farm animals that they are going to be killed or they are going to be sent in the slaughterhouse after being used a lot. And E.G. knew this project. He met Matthew in a convention, and he met the project, and he found that the project was super cool, and that Matthew was really a nice guy. So I was in Spain, and this project is in the south of France, so it's not so far, and I decided to go there to meet Matthew and to help him a little bit. I went there, and what he showed me was incredible. The animals they have, how they take care of them, it's just incredible. They really love the animals and they do everything they can for them. They are very they are family, they are very humble, they are really living very simple life, and everything they have, all the resources they invest for the animals, which is very touching, and for me was really impressive. And at the same time, there was a story in parallel because some months ago, before I arrived there had been a workshop in a place nearby the La Lumière des Chevaux. And Matthew and the family, they had been in contact before with this place of Lentiourel, and until this event happened. It was a workshop about breatharianism, which is a technique that they claim that they can teach people to live without eating nor drinking at all. And in this workshop they teach to do this in 21 days, which is very dangerous. It's really very aggressive for the body.
Yeah.
And it happened that one person died in this workshop in Lentiourel. And Matthew was really against these practices. He was there in the workshop from time to time. He's an osteopath, and he tried to help some people because he just for free he wanted to give his help. But unfortunately, this person still died there because of these practices. E.G. also discovered about this story, and he started to trying to figure out what was really that happened in Lentiourel. In this workshop there were two teams of people. Some were from France and some were from Italy, and the version from the people from France was completely different than the one from the people from Italy. And the people from Italy, they were completely flabbergasted and they were really disgusted of what happened. And E.G. managed to make some interviews also and to find some people that could testify of what really happened about this guy that unfortunately died there, and the French people, they were just hiding everything, covering all the situation. And that's how I really discovered the story about Lentiourel. So I spoke a bit with friends and with the people around the place. I wanted to discover more, and I even went there to spend some days in Lentiourel after everything happened.
I have some information that says that even once the person died in this workshop in Lentiourel, they said, okay, we stop for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't know the exact time, and if you want, because we know that you can be a bit shocked, and we go on afterwards. If you want, we go on.
Yeah, that's information that we received. There were some other testimonies also from the side of Italy, that the way they dealt they dealt with the situation was so cold, because it was like a natural thing, like something that it was normal, because the guy was supposed, it had nothing to do with the workshop. It was his destiny. And finally, they could just stay like a couple of hours, and when you have this pain or sorrow for the dead person, in 2 hours they could already go on, because they are in an atmosphere of peace, love, and light, and blah blah blah. And it's incredible, but it was like this. And I guess that they waited that the ambulance came, they took the body away or something, and when they left, they started and they went on with the workshop. They didn't even cancel the workshop in the sense of, fuck, this happened, and okay, let's finish this and let's take, a week, let's think about this, what happened, maybe there was a problem. No. The responsibility was not at all because of the workshop, not at all because of the practice. It had nothing to do, so they just went on.
Which is really incredible and shocking. And I would say that I'm not an expert of medicine, but I would say that yes, it's normal that somebody can die when you stay 21 days without eating and maybe drinking. What is not normal is that you offer these kind of workshops to the people without even checking. I have the information, and you can confirm that, maybe, that they didn't even have a doctor to check the state of the people. And this guy who died had problems already before, and he was hesitating. So it's really incredible. I'm sorry, I'm shocked, and I cannot even give concrete words, because I find this absolutely sick and incredible. And which is the worst is that I had the information, I've been inquiring a bit, that they kept going on. They still have and had more workshops in this idea.
Yes, actually, I don't understand, but some months later, and now recently, some months ago, they repeated the same workshop, like at least a couple of times, I know, after this workshop where the guy died. But no one goes behind the story, no one dares asking what happened, and no one wonders about this. They are just completely blinded of the situation. They don't give a toss.
Which is really shocking and incredible, honestly. It reminds me a little bit as a mafia or as a sect or whatever you want to imagine like this, because it's really incredible. Now, I would like to focus a bit in La Lumière de Chavaux, because you had also experience there. And we know that recently, Lentiourel kind of provoked some troubles to these people, La Lumière de Chavaux. And I would like you to explain a bit the story.
Yeah. So what I know now about this is that, La Lumière de Chavaux, as I told you, it's the center for the animals. And as they are friends with Iggy and the team, because they are receiving also help from different people. La Lumière de Chavaux is a center that they don't get any money by themselves, they don't make any business, so everything that they do is based on donations. So now the thing is that these Lentiourel were really angry because Iggy did a research and brought to the topic of the person that died there, and he started to warn other people of, be careful with this kind of workshops because they are dangerous. Those people from Lentiourel, they got really mad, they got really angry, and as they knew the connection between Iggy and Lentiourel, and La Lumière de Chavaux and Matthew, they started to blackmail Matthew. And they started to tell him that this Iggy is saying lies, and they started to write some blogs about Iggy, and they started to write some shit about Iggy because he was lying, manipulating, not saying the truth, which is not true, because he was just explaining what happened. So this Lumière de Chavaux, the Lumière de Chavaux had been using different lands around this area to take care of the horses. They had very good relationship with a lot of neighbors and so on, and they are really very friendly and they are really nice. So the horses also, they help the land when there are too many wild grass or something, and they help to get rid of this. So there's like a rotation process where the horses go to one land to another land. In Lentiourel, some years ago, before all this workshop and everything, they accepted horses as well in their land, and they were happy for many years. It was like a normal thing. They didn't take care of the horses. They just left some piece of land to La Lomie de Chevaux and some horses, and they were happy. They were also doing some workshops for people of the outside to come to Lentiourel. I'm sure that they were getting money as well because they were doing some courses about horse riding, but in a different way, some different workshops and blah blah blah. And this Lentiourel, they were using also the horses. They were not just having them in their land. But now happened that they got angry, and suddenly these horses are demoniac. Suddenly these horses are horrible beasts that are destroying the land and that are breaking everything. When for years never happened. The only thing that happened is that Matthew was on the side of revealing the truth about this person that died in the workshop. And at the same time, Iggy was in the same direction, and Lentiourel, they made the link that Matthew and Iggy, they were working together in the same team to go against Lentiourel, but it has nothing to do with that. And the people from Lentiourel, the leader, this Jax, I know that he even told Matthew, it's your fault not to pressure Iggy to get rid of those videos that are against us. Therefore, now you have your medicine, your destiny is this. Now your horses will be kicked out.
So this guy is behaving really like a mafia guy.
Yes.
Absolutely, because he is covering a death in his place. He, as we didn't say that here, but we know, and we have been inquiring, he gained a lot of money with this workshop, because you can understand that a workshop where you teach not to eat and not to drink, you don't have a lot of expenses, and if I'm not mistaken, all the people were sleeping together in the same place, in the same big room, with mattresses on the floor, which is not very expensive. But they were asking more than 600 euros per person. If you do a quick calculation, if you have more than 10 people, you have a very good salary. Yes. He's earning a lot of money. He's covering a death. He keeps doing a workshop where a guy died. And then when somebody speaks, he blackmails.
Yes, absolutely. And it's not only that, because yes, you speak about this money from the workshop, but the house where they live, it's another old story. And I can tell you that they started this project of L'Oasis de Lentiourel, and they were around like 20 people or so. And when I visited them, just to spend a couple of days, there were only the leaders left, 2 people, 1 couple. And there were 2 other people that were there because they had no other choice. They had no money left to go to another place. They gathered, I don't know how many people, like these 20 or 25 people, and they all put together a lot of big money to buy the big house with a lot of land. That's why they had a lot of land, and that's why some horses could be there. But all of those people, they joined the project with the expectation to receive back the money at some point because of the activities they wanted to create and so on, or at least to receive the money back when they wanted to leave. This never happened. Everyone from this first team that created this Oasis of Lentiourel were so disappointed and saw that there was not a chance of any evolution there, and they were also angry with the leaders because they were completely fascistic and they were doing whatever they wanted, that they started to run away and to leave. So they left the place for these people because they had no choice. There was no money back and there was no way. I went to do some inquiries in the city hall of the closest town that is in charge of all the area, and when I asked about Lentiourel, they looked at me and they said, "Oh yes, we know about them." And I said, "Yes, so what? Is there a problem?" "Yeah, they had some troubles, the police went there, we know something about the money," because I told them, "Yeah, I would like maybe to join them or maybe to invest some stuff there," and said, "Ooh, you be careful, blah blah blah." So they didn't tell me, "Don't do this because blah 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 blah," but they invited me to look in another direction and to better let this thing out of my mind. So this is another thing, and they kept the power, and they just want more and more and more, and they go on. And now it's the animals. It's like a last drop of completely craziness and darkness to destroy and to put some animals down.
You can see they are even ready to kill 80 or to provoke the death of 80 horses and cows and other animals who were rescued to have a good life just because of revenge and blackmail. Because that's how mafia and sects behave. They just take from you whatever they can, and afterwards, if you go against, you are no one. You are the devil, or you have to die. That's like this. And sadly, these things now, 2019, they are still happening. So then there is somebody like Matthew in the La Lumière de Chavaux, or Iggy, who in his case, on his own, it's the way he does the things to reveal the truth, and we know he's a guy who likes to inquire about different situations. Then when you reveal the truth, you are the devil. Matthew and Iggy, they are people who just say the truth, and they are insulted, threatened, and even blackmailed just because of revealing the truth. That really reminds me, it's not a secret, I'm from Spain. It really reminds me the past of Spain with a guy called Franco. It's really, really impressive. Here we have one more inquiry from the Fantastic Network. I thank you very much, Xavi, for giving your testimony about everything.
My pleasure.
And we hope that all these things will really finish in the fair way, with the justice doing what is really needed.
Yeah, of course. That's what we want. That's what we fight for. Because otherwise, it's just crazy. It's unbearable. If we reach the point that justice gives the right to Lentiourel to go on with their threats and so on, it's just going to speak very badly about themselves, about the city hall of this area, Santa Fric, and honestly, for me, it would be a very, very shameful result.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.